In the next 5 minutes, you need to completely reframe the way you think about studying. School obviously train you to think that listening to teachers and 100% attendance is the way that you do well. Because you probably think that an academic weapon is someone who spends all of their life studying. Like, you know those people that you go, oh, I've never seen that guy before because he's always in the corner of the library. Do you really want to be that guy? A true academic weapon is someone who studies efficiently, and this means getting the best results with the least effort. And I've done exactly that. I've got straight A's for my whole school career, and I got into my dream university. And all of this time, even when I was preparing for my exams, I was not revising for 6 hours a day. So how do you study properly? Now, this is super controversial, but there's actually been studies that show students forget 95% of what is taught to them after the first time. So that means the stuff that you learn at the start of the year, there's no way you're going to remember at the end. So if you want to become an academic weapon, you need to understand that the crucial point where you need to go all in is in the last 2 or 3 months before your exam, not for the whole year. Because if you commit your life to studying from the first day that you go to school to the last, you're literally just going to burn out, and the bit that actually matters, the exam at the end, you're going to do badly in that. So you should really start studying properly in the last 2 or 3 months before you take the exam. The first tip I always share is to get out of the house and get into a library. Even when I was getting A stars, I could not work at home because most of the time you probably don't really want to be doing revision or schoolwork. So you need to force yourself to get outside, get into a place where people are like only doing work and there's pretty much no option but to get your head down and concentrate. And it amazes me how many people don't do this next step, which is before you start revising for an exam, you need to go through the syllabus and look at what's actually being examined. If you don't know, a syllabus is pretty much a list of the topics that are going to be covered in the exam, and this is what you should have been doing all year round at school or uni. But sometimes, because people haven't looked at this, they'll start revising information, taking notes on stuff that isn't actually important. And when you're going through this, you need to make sure that you understand topics properly. This might sound simple, but if you want to get the best grade, you can't go into an exam thinking, oh, I kind of understand that. If you can't explain the topic to your friends or a parent, then you know that something's wrong. And at the end of the day, it's probably better to know 2 topics really well than to know 5 or 6 kind of poorly. Because if you take that second option, you won't be able to answer questions on any of them. Another super helpful thing that I've discovered is to speak to someone who's already done the exam that you're going to take. If you can find someone that's a year older than you and did well in that exam, then ask them, you know, what's important to know, what should I concentrate studying on, what kind of study techniques work for you, because they'll save you a load of time by telling you what topics are a waste of time to revise and what you should fully concentrate on. Now, another super important tip is to take one thing at a time. If you're sitting down for a 2-hour revision session, it's better to do 2 hours of maths than an hour of maths and an hour of English. If you're always switching between subjects, firstly, you're going to retain information a lot worse, and you're not going to get a lot done because you'll always be thinking about, can I do the next thing? So what you need to do is slow down and schedule out blocks of revision properly. And the minimum block I suggest is an hour. Let's be honest, if you say you're going to study for half an hour, you're probably being lazy. But I found the sweet spot to be about an hour and 15, an hour and a half of deep studying with no distractions. Take a break and then maybe do it once more. If you really need to work hard, that's the best way to make sure you're focused. Because the minute you say you're going to spend the whole day revising maths, that's where procrastination kicks in. So take a minute to ask yourself, what do I actually need to know and what's important to me getting the best grades?